In my class, I want every one of my students to succeed and improve their results in maths. Keeping a track of how they're all performing is absolutely critical. There's growing pressure and accountability to show evidence of my students' improvement, and it's a requirement that I must meet. Regularly collecting and managing student data, and then analysing it, has never been more important. The reality is that doing all of this thoroughly is time-consuming and can be overwhelming. And because my students all progress at such a different pace, supporting them all is a challenge that I can't always meet. And then, keeping them actively engaged and excited to learn maths is always going to keep me on my toes, which is why I rely on Mathletics. I have data insights for my class that give me clear visibility of my students' mathematical understanding and help me equip my students for success. I view the recent progress of my whole class, the results of my individual students, and results by activity, which lets me make informed decisions about the next steps in learning. When I need to understand more about my class's progress, I've got a snapshot view with a simple traffic light system highlighting where my students are proficient and identifying the activities where they need more help. I drill down further for insights that guide next steps in instruction and support. There are diagnostic tools that identify individual students' strengths and gaps. The visual display of results in bands gives me insights as to where I need to intervene and where I need to stretch. I go deeper to understand specific student needs to make sure that I'm delivering the right elements at the right time. Periodically, I access the comprehensive set of diagnostic tests that are mapped to curriculum outcomes. These provide even further insights into my student and class needs, which informs and shapes my instruction. I can differentiate tests for each of my groups and schedule at a time that is suitable for me. The results are displayed at whole class and curriculum outcome level. Mathletics reporting collates my students' improvement, their progress and their growth across my whole course. The box plot allows me to compare my students' achievement, and the overall spread of marks tells me a lot about my students' mathematical understanding. And equally, this improvement report makes it easy to track my students' growth over time. I use these data insights to direct improvements in learning. With teacher tools like Assign, I prioritise and schedule curriculum content that suits both my lessons and my students. I assign activities to match topics I'm teaching, and my students access this content as an in-class activity. I also schedule activities for home that make sure that they can revise and reinforce. And because my students all learn at different rates and different times, I assign activities that match their level of proficiency and progress, guiding and reinforcing when they need it. Because the Mathletics courses and content are completely aligned, I am confident that my students are learning relevant topics that match what they need to learn and what I need to teach. I choose curriculum-aligned courses that are right for me, and I have the control to show and hide topics. When I personalise the curriculum, I add something easier topics from the previous year level to consolidate, and something harder when they need further challenge. And for my students, it's the engaging content that Mathletics brings all together that motivates my learners to practice and improve. The right mix of activities and support, videos and printable resources keeps my students actively engaged, so they find every opportunity to participate both in class and at home. And because their participation is so high, my students gain the benefits of the Mathletics advantage, and that gives them the edge in their learning.
Improve your school's performance with Mathletics. Complete your order now.